Sheep, and welcome to a Nut Pocket talk through about the new Assassin's Creed film. Not like the big one before, but the latest film of Assassin's Creed that is out.
Yeah. What you think?
Yeah, it was out.
Alright. I rather enjoyed it, but I probably looked at it from a less movie analytical point of view than you, because that's not what I do. I only really end up analysing films because I see them with you, and you end up analysing them, so I have to go with it.
Yeah.
As a piece of entertainment, I quite enjoyed it. I can see the flaws, especially after discussing it with you. I can see where the flaws lie, which we'll get to. But as an overall piece of enjoyment, I quite liked it. The old school worlds and the new school worlds felt pretty like Assassin's Creed-y.
Yeah.
If you didn't know who Abstergo was at the time, you would kind of think, wow, those guys kind of have weird methods of science and stuff. But then you find out they're evil, which is what the game was like at the beginning. You didn't really know what Abstergo was doing or why they were doing it, but then you realise they're actually evil and they're part of the Templars group. Old school world felt like there were Templars and Assassins constantly going at it in kind of all of their political different ways and stuff, linked with the royalty at the time and the people that were in charge of the cities. That felt very Assassin's Creed-y, so from that point of view, I quite liked it.
And the old, anything within the animus of the Assassin's time was great. It was very Assassin's Creed, very much like the cutscene portions of the missions.
Yeah.
There's bits where they're standing on rooftops and it's 100% like Ezio talking to Michelangelo before he goes and flies. It's very well done. It's not shot or edited well, is the problem. The film is very clunky. It's a very specific example, but even Josh was hurt by it. There's a point where the film decides to have a fade to black, but imagine the fade to black is here. It goes, ah! It's like, how did that get past?
Yeah.
I
have no idea.
Oh, and just moments, there was moments where, and it's fine to cross the line in film, it is absolutely fine. The line is basically, it's a 180 degree thing, so if you put the camera here, you can't put it here, it has to be behind that. And there was so many points in the action scenes, and action scenes have to be comprehensible or they're not enjoyable, and the camera was here, and then it was just here, and I was like, I don't know what and then there were points where the camera was here, but then it was just about here, and I was like, why did you need a cut? Why did you need to move from that angle? Everything's there! And we'd just come off the back of seeing La La Land, which did spectacular things with one-shots, which is, it is pure cinema to be able to, if your actors can do everything in a single shot, use that shot. And this film, it just felt it just was so clunky. It was so, There was some funny little CGI things happening as well, like when the horse and cart was running and the girl ran up the wall. That looked very that wasn't real. Yeah.
But then from then on, a lot of the CGI was fine.
It was very seamless CGI.
Yeah, yeah.
It was,
except for that one.
Yeah,
maybe a couple more.
Yeah.
It's for one of your probably first major bits of CGI, make it good.
It wasn't.
Because it wasn't.
No.
It was at the beginning of the movie.
Very jarring. Beginning of the movie, also, two things I didn't like. Only at the beginning. The rest of it I didn't like as well. The beginning... if you want a franchise, give us lore through the thing. Don't make us read it on the screen at the start. I don't want that. I know Star Wars did it, but Star Wars was good.
Star Wars can do it. They're allowed to. They set it up. They started that.
Assassin's Creed, that's not a thing. That felt like a very much... it felt like it was there to say, hey, look, it's Assassin's Creed. This is why we're doing this. But it's not. That's not an Assassin's Creed thing. They gave him a name many times, but it was always a very... It's not like Ezio. It was like... Blah, 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 blah. It's like...
That kind of brings us to that next point. The characters and the worlds were pretty thin. Maybe not pretty, really thin.
Very thin.
They kind of... I don't know, they didn't spend enough time in either worlds. The Assassin's Creed franchise, everyone loves the old stuff.
Yeah.
And you really get to know the old-time character. That wasn't a thing.
No.
I have no idea who that character was, what he stood for, who his family was, why he was doing what he was doing.
No. It was very vague, and they tried to also invest you in someone else that must have a past with him. But I'm like, I don't know what their past is.
Yeah.
Like, is there a novel for this? Is that why are we supposed to read a novel? Because it's a video game movie.
Yeah, they were just way too thin. And then there was a lot more character, I guess, in the modern times with those characters. I feel like we spent a lot more time with modern characters.
Yeah.
But even still, like, with the video games, people don't like the modern times, which is why they've almost cut it out.
Yeah.
That's not where the love of Assassin's Creed is. It's all in the old part.
And even when you're in the old part in this film, they cut you out of the action because they show you that he's in the Animus. Like, the Animus is such an integral bit of this film, which is fine because it needs to be, because the Animus is what drives the whole back-in-timey stuff. But, like, I want to see everything that happens there. I don't care that he's falling to the ground with a mechanical arm. I want to see what Minina did when he fell, because I'm sorry, but the one bit they could have showed him falling into the barrel, they cut out!
Yeah.
They cut out! They cut back to him on the floor!
Him jumping off the building and everyone wanted to see, whoa,
everyone's like,
happening?
oh my god! And it's like...
That's why we paid to see the movie, right?
We were so ready for it, and like, here, this is why they did it, because they're like, they know that it's going to be talked about. But that's not cool, alright? That's like if they did a Mario film and he never wore overalls. It's like, you've just taken the, like, everyone knows in Assassin's Creed, even, like, as a gamer, you know that they fall into hay barrels, things. That's there!
Like, basically what we were just talking about before we started filming, if the Animus was the game Animus, then you wouldn't need all the cutbacks to the guy on the giant mechanical arm.
Showing him how to do everything.
Kind of flown around. I get it for the film, kinda looks cool. They were like projecting the surroundings around him on the arm. I don't know, but it was kinda cool. I get that. It was a cool little bit of cinema, but it took away a lot of the old part of the movie, and it took you out of really feeling immersed in the olden days.
Basically, there was the core three characters, because there's only really three characters the film gives any time to, and it's Cal, it's Marianne, whatever her name is, that's in Allied at the moment as well, and her father, who is Alfred, without glasses. They're the only characters, and they are three phenomenal actors. Like, they are outstanding, but in this film, I was like, what happened? What happened to you? You're all crap! Like, Alfred was kind of okay, but he was okay in a stereotypical sort of Templari villain sort of way. Marianne was so thin. She was a woman with daddy issues, and
she just did not seem to know where she stood with anything.
No. And then Cal, they give you one bit of backstory, and then it's like, he's a criminal. Like, it's so, everything is so forced. Like, it's just painful, and these actors, it's like they had nothing to work with. This was just a horrible mess. Mark Fassbender started screaming a song at one point. I don't even know if that's in the script or if he went mad.
That was a little bit funny.
Yeah, but I don't think it was supposed to be. That was the problem, because it was like he was... Okay, spoilers now. He was reliving his childhood when his mother was murdered. He went insane.
Yeah.
He was going insane, but it was hilarious. Because it was so sudden.
It was
like,
a little bit funny. That part, I was a little bit unsure as to why he suddenly went so mad.
Yeah, like there was definitely a build-up.
All of a sudden, he wasn't anymore.
He was like, "Cool, I'm going in here."
Movie.
Like,
it was just like he was mad, and then he's not ever again.
Yeah, like there were scenes missing, but if those scenes were in there, there'd be even less time in the old days with no. Like, I'm so, like, and it's not that I hate this film; it's that I'm disappointed in it. Because there were so many good elements in it. Like, the director was great, the casting was great, but it's just, I don't know what happened. I don't know. So sad. And a thing with the Animus being this big physical monstrosity, you're teaching these novice people how to assassinate people. Like, Desmond never got good at killing people. He got good at running up walls and stuff, but, like, in the modern age, it seems like everyone can do that now. Yeah. But it's like, what do you think is going to happen when you put a bunch of people who are kind of murderers? I think I got that, is that they take people who are probably going to die.
It seems like.
Yeah, so they're all criminals. Then you put them in basically a training simulator on how to assassinate people with nothing. What do you think is going to be the eventual result of that? Like, there is going to be an uprising. And staying on spoilers, the only bit that I just, after quite a long time of thinking and looking at my crotch,
Yes.
the only bit I enjoyed was looking at my crotch. No, it was the ending of the film, and if you've seen the film, which I hope you have, because you shouldn't be watching this unless you've seen the film, it's when the bad dude, when Alfred's got the Apple of Eden and he's surrounded by Templars, it was very, like, the end of an Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah, it felt like it.
Yeah.
That was, like, heaps Creedy. It was great.
It was great.
And then, like, kind of, Cal walks in, he suddenly knows how to kill people because they've essentially told him how to. And then he just comes out of the shadows.
Yeah, and there's shoots lights and then just...
Yeah, and then just takes out Alfred, takes the apple. And
Pennyworth goes down.
And then there's just this mad sweeping shot going over the city.
Yeah, and they're all...
Until you see the bunch of assassins on a rooftop.
It was very cool.
Well ended.
It was very cool.
Well done.
And all I want to say is, rather than a sequel, make that a game. Because, like, there is not going to be a better build-up, because you basically abandoned the Desmond and modern day stuff. And I know you're trying to put that with Syndicate. There's not going to be a better build-up to a modern day game than what that film achieved. Because if it did one thing, it did a good job of visualizing the modern day stuff. Like, it spent very little time with the old stuff. So, I don't know if they could do a film based on that, because I didn't see enough. But modern day, they definitely nailed Abstergo. So it's like, just make that a game, because you've got... It was an Asian lady, a black dude, and a white dude. It's still a white dude. But it's like, that's such a variety of characters that people couldn't be upset if that's the game.
Yeah. So as you were saying the other day, the Animus has been completely destroyed. It's gone. So, like, what do they do with the olden time part?
Yeah.
They can't go back anymore. The assassins...
They've got the apple as well.
Yeah, they've already got it. They probably don't have that massive Animus system unless they've developed the laying in a bed.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're leading to.
Maybe that's what they're heading
but
towards.
What would they do with that?
Yeah, they've already got the apple. The entire game series, for however freaking long Assassin's Creed has been going on for. Like
even in lore, how long have they been searching for the apple?
Yeah.
Like,
they've got it already.
Yeah, in a film.
In, 2 hours, they have the apple in modern times. That's the entire point of the games, is to get the apple in modern times. They still don't have it. But in the movie, they've got it. That's the end.
That's the end game. This is the end. This is the end game, and in the end game, the boss battle was just stabbing Alfred in the neck.
Oh, shite! That was your knack?
Is it done? Is there not a sequel now?
Yeah, like, what can you do with this? Unless, and it'd be bullshit, but it could totally happen, that it's just a cop-out, and that apple isn't real, and they've got to do it all again. 100% just could be a cop-out.
Yeah. There were, though, now that I'm thinking about it, there were other bits of things. There was a staff and stuff. And I'm just going to go and collect all of this, merch that they're going to sell at eBay Games in the future.
Yeah, because we can get the apple now.
We can, yes. I was also a tiny bit disappointed with the apple itself. It looked cool, looked real, looked like the Apple of Eden. But in all the games, most of the games, whenever they hold it out, it always seems to have this hologram of the Earth with little dots or little blips and things happening on it. I was really hoping for that, because I'd be like, yes, that is the Apple of Eden. But it was just kind of
green smoke.
Green.
Yeah.
Like green, smoky hologram things, not actually projecting anything.
Yeah. Just very superhero franchise movie orb thing.
Yeah.
Like.
So I was a little bit disappointed. I was hoping for something a bit more technologically advanced, showing the Earth.
Like, it looks like it was leading up to, a boss battle between Cal and Alfred. And if they'd done that, it would have been a cool sequel, because then they wouldn't have the apple yet, and it'd be this race to the Templars, but no, just stabs him in the neck.
It's just there. It's weird. I don't know where to go. Again, right at the end, the girl from Allied is just confusing. I thought she was going to turn towards the assassins.
Yeah, like she was going to help
that road.
Because she is an assassin as well.
Is she?
Well, she's got ancestors, because there was one that had lifted her hood slightly and she had her eyes.
Oh,
but they didn't show much of her.
Right.
Yeah, in the hologram projection.
Yeah, but it was just that was it.
She just was like, screw it, I don't like my dad that much. Bye.
I don't know what she's gonna do later.
Yeah.
Whether she is good now or whether she's still gonna be
She's
bad
gonna
and
be the
like
head of the
avenging her
Templars.
father.
Yeah. This film is so self-aware that it's big, that I feel like it wants a sequel. Like, it doesn't need one because they definitely haven't got anything else to do. They could do like a comic book run or a video game or something, but I could not see a whole entire film devoted to nothing.
But then we did notice that Ubisoft has its own film division now.
So
It's
maybe
like
Rayman.
Ubisoft Cinemas or something. Imagine Rayman. That'd be
Rayman
so
movie.
random.
Ugh.
But yeah, they've got their own company now, like
Mm.
film division. So we assume they're going to keep making movies.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That would be the logical thing.
You'd think so.
Marvel made their
Studio after a while, yeah.
and then that's what they do now.
Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed wasn't great. It wasn't the worst film of 2016. There was definitely worse films in that year. We had 2 DC films. So, not bad, but it's also not the greatest thing.
Which is really unfortunate.
Yeah, I was really, like, when the trailers were dropping, I was like, this is promising. And it still was, but it just didn't... It was disappointing at the same time.
Yeah.
It promised all these cool elements, but it's like, if you don't do a sequel, don't know where they're going.
Yeah.
Mm.
Still, this is our first. This is after our first watch of it. We were saying maybe a second watch might help,
Mm.
but we'll have to see whether we're willing to put in the money before it goes to DVD.
We work in the dark to serve the light.
Alright, well what did you think if you've seen it already? And if you haven't seen it, you wouldn't be watching this bit because you shouldn't be allowed to, because your mummy would have told you no spoilers until after dinner, because I assume at dinner you would have watched Assassin's Creed. And if you have watched it, as I said, let us know down in the comments, not up in the comments because there's no comments upwards. But until we come back, the Doctor of Who out!
Sheep out. Go see La La Land. It was
Yeah, see
really
that
good.
better. That's great.
Really good.
That's
See that better.
See that better than not the
Oh,
other one.
yeah.
Because La La Land, film of... Like, it came out last year, but it's probably going to be my film of this year.
Yeah,
'Cause-
probably.
Oh,
That's great. No, I'm playing piano so much more now.
oh really?
Yeah, it's been 2 days, and
And
I'm
you're
like, I can't walk past my piano or my keyboard without playing it.
Mm.
It's great. It's
Oh.
so good. Thank you.
That's good.
Thank you, Lala.
Yeah, thank you. I don't lock my car anymore as well, because no one seems to lock their car.
They just get out,
Yeah,
Ryan
Ryan Gosling just jumps out of his car.
and Ryan Reynolds just jumps off a bridge and
Yeah.
saves a
Yeah.
people.
Dance monkey.